Of course. 5 million, was it? Or much more, if you'll come with me to Camino to be cloned.
You want to clone me?
Imagine an army of clones, the training of which you will oversee.
I'll accept your offer, Tyrannus, on one condition.
And that is?
I want the first clone for myself, unmodified.
Might I inquire as to why?
You might.
From the outside looking in, Jango Fett was nothing more than a cold-blooded mercenary who would fulfill almost any task so long as the price was right, meaning that his loyalty was constantly changing and could be bought rather easily. But when Count Dooku offered him the chance to become the genetic template of all clone troopers in the Grand Army of the Republic, Fett wanted something much more than a mere 5 million credits: a son. So why would a seemingly callous and ruthless bounty hunter jump at the opportunity to raise a child? Well, let's find out. Number 3. Jango's soft side. Those who knew Jango as someone much more than a masked bounty hunter came to realise his soft side. Sure, his methods were calculated and rather brutal, but he always changed his demeanour around the few people he actually cared for. In fact, at least according to Star Wars legends, Fett learned everything he knew from his surrogate father, Jaster Muriel. He even vowed to continue the Mandalorian's legacy when the time was right. So perhaps Jango sought to one day raise his own child as a means of escaping the harsh reality of bounty hunting and the Clone Wars. Or maybe he wanted to become a father unlike the one who had left him all alone in the universe, granting Boba the very same childhood he nearly missed out on. Number 2. Finding an equal. Despite the fact he was a loner who preferred to work in isolation, a bit like me, we know that Jango had at least one heterosexual relationship if we again stick to information from Star Wars legends. So it is possible that he one day sought to produce offspring with a suitable partner. Unfortunately, he and Shikato departed one another following a pirate raid on their ship. They never reconnected. This tragic turn of events drastically misshaped the mercenary's outlook on life. In his mind, having formed only short-term relationships, he would live alone for the rest of his days. Also, finding an equal as a badass bounty hunter must have been no easy feat. You could argue as a result that Jango always had the idea in the back of his mind to reproduce. He just needed an opportunity to do so. Number 1. Building a legacy. When approached by Count Dooku to become the genetic template of all clone troopers in the Grand Army of the Republic, Fett requested an unaltered being for himself. He refused to reveal exactly why, but given Dooku's pitch, which included the chance of immortality, it's not difficult to read between the lines. At the end of the day, Jango wanted someone to carry on the Mandalorian culture and ways, just as he did with Jaster Muriel. I mean, it had to be with good reason that he often referred to Boba as Jaster's legacy. It's also rather telling that he only grew attached to his child, seeing every other clone as nothing more than extensions of yet another contract. So without a father, mother, or any siblings, Boba truly became the heir to Jango's throne. So there we have it, a few reasons as to why Jango Fett wanted an unaltered clone for himself. But now I want to hear from you. Which bounty hunter do you think was the best? Jango or his son Boba? This could get interesting, so do let me know in the comments below. Personally, I'm more of a Boba fan, but that could just be the nostalgia of the Empire Strikes Back talking. If you learned something new from today's video, be sure to leave a like. And for weekly lore content, press that subscribe button and notification bell to keep it locked here to the Kyrgyzstan.